Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd. I am a nutrition entrepreneur, but here's the catch. I have a full-time traditional dietitian job. My entrepreneurial endeavors are my side hustle. I have been making six figures through my job and side hustle, doing things that I love. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 27th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, Narrowing Your Niche. Today I'll be interviewing dietitian Laura Schoenfeld. Laura helps overstressed, overtrained, and undernourished women get back to better physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. She's also a business coach helping dietitians and nutrition entrepreneurs create profitable online nutrition businesses that attracts, converts, and serves their dream clients. And finally, she's also the host of the Fed and Fearless podcast. Welcome, Laura. Would you like to share a few words before we get started?
Yeah, well, first of all, Katie, thanks for having me. And it's funny, as I was listening to you intro me, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, I pretty much only do business coaching now. It was something in this year I decided to pivot 100% into rather than just doing it as a side hustle, as this podcast is called. So this year in 2020 and then in 2021, my core focus is helping dietitian and nutrition entrepreneurs grow their business, get to that first six figures and beyond so that they can love the work that they do.
That's awesome. And I mean, that is one thing too to know is like we could always pivot. We start one place and we shift over to those things that we just really love and work best for us. So that's awesome. So starting off for our questions, can you tell us a little bit more about what you do for your business? Tell us a little bit more about that coaching piece that you do.
Yeah, so my signature program for nutrition business owners is called Nutrition Business Accelerator. And in that program, I teach people how to create pretty much a start to finish funnel. If people are familiar with the words funnel, it's basically just a marketing strategy to attract your ideal client, to find that person out there, whether that is through social media, blogging, podcast interviews, however you're getting in front of your ideal client, just being able to do that effectively depending on who you are looking to attract into your business, and then taking them through a series of marketing strategies so that you can get onto a call with them and then become that working partnership, get into that working partnership with them. So basically it's a system that I teach my clients how to get that person into their business, to be able to serve them really well, to get the results they want to get, and to have an amazing experience working with them. And then really just creating a cycle that all builds on itself and allows you to get to that six-figure mark in your business and ultimately beyond, and really as much as you want to have as far as an income potential is concerned. So that's generally what I do. I also have a mastermind that I run with right now, we officially have 10 for 2021. We may have more, but there's at least 10 dietitians and nutritionists that are in that group that I help really scale their business to take it beyond that six-figure mark. So like I said, that's what I've been focusing on for 2020 and 2021, just because I love the business strategy piece. And it's been something I've learned a lot about over the last 7 years of having my own nutrition business.
Yeah. And are most of your clients as dietitians, are they working with patients one-on-one, doing M&T or coaching, or what would you say that the dietitians you work with do most of the time?
It's actually a mix. So I have some clients that are doing the one-on-one MNT, some clients that are offering more coaching type of programs, especially if they are a health coach, nutritionist that's not a licensed clinician. And then many of them are very interested in creating scalable group programs as well. So that's something that I help my clients create to allow them to reach more people, help more people, and get out of that time for dollars type of situation that we can often find ourselves in once we've gotten some traction in our business.
Yes. And I love talking about how we could stop trading time for money.
Awesome.
So today we are going to be discussing the importance of narrowing your niche. Can you discuss what is a niche and why is it important to have one?
Yeah, so a niche is essentially identifying what specific problem do you solve for what type of person. It's often called a ideal client or ideal customer avatar, and that's where you're getting really detailed about who is that best case scenario for who you serve in your business. And it's something that I know I struggled with a lot in my business simply because when I first started back in 2014, I was focused more on the way that I served my clients and really focusing more on being like a paleo ancestral health dietitian rather than figuring out a specific problem that I was going to solve. And unfortunately, this is something I discovered over time, and it's something that a lot of my clients are experiencing until they do select their niche. It is very difficult to get to the level of success that you desire when you don't have a niche. I got lucky. I got in early enough that I was able to build a business without having a very clear problem I was solving. But we're at a stage in the nutrition space, especially in online business, where it's at a level of market crowdedness. And I don't want to scare anybody. If you're interested in starting a business, the market is not too crowded, but it is crowded enough at this point that we have to be able to distinguish ourselves as someone who is uniquely qualified to serve our ideal client in the way that they want to be served, to help them get the results that they want to get. And unfortunately, I find that especially for dietitians, because we learn how to help so many different types of people, it can be very difficult to figure out who is that exact type of person that I want to help, what are the exact kind of results that I want to help them accomplish, and getting to that level of specificity can be very difficult for a lot of nutrition entrepreneurs. But like I said, the fact is that if you have goals of getting to six figures and even beyond six figures in your nutrition business, I feel very strongly that you have to be very clear on what niche you're serving and be able to articulate that really easily and effectively to your ideal clients and the audience that you've attracted.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's really good advice, especially focusing on the problem that you solve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. So what would you say for those who are worried about losing potential customers from narrowing down too much? I've heard people say that. They said, I don't really want to niche down too much because I want to help everyone. Like what advice would you give them, or what would you say to those dietitians?
Yeah, so I have two different thoughts about that. One is that, yes, you will lose potential clients if you take your niche to a more specific level. And that's actually the point. So I want to kind of flip that on its head, like this belief that, oh no, if I don't help everyone, I'll lose out on helping, people and growing my business. You do actually want to not be for everyone, because if you try to help everyone with everything, you're actually not going to end up helping anyone as well as you could if you were to really narrow in on a specific problem that you're solving. Marketing and messaging is very difficult when you don't have a niche. So getting in front of the right people, the people that you would like to work with, the people that you're able to help, that's going to be a lot harder if you don't have a niche. And if you're having a handful of random people showing up that are interested in nutrition services, but they're not really people that you're excited about helping, or they're not dealing with a problem that you feel confident that you can solve, you're probably not going to have a great experience working with that person anyway. So we actually want to avoid those kind of potential clients. We don't want to have a bunch of people in our business that we're not really super qualified to help, or we don't really get excited about helping, because again, you're losing the opportunity to actually get clients that you would really enjoy working with and you would actually be able to get really great results for. So I think we have to stop thinking about what am I missing out on if I do niche, and start thinking about what do you miss out on if you don't niche? Because if you don't niche, you're going to miss out on that opportunity to make really clear marketing and messaging strategies. You're going to miss out on the opportunity to become the expert in that particular area of nutrition and that field that you want to get known as an expert in. You're going to miss out on this opportunity to serve your clients in a more effective and efficient way. And you're also going to miss out on the opportunity to create what's called an ascension model or an ascension ladder for your business, which allows you to create more sales opportunities beyond that one-on-one service. So rather than worrying, oh no, I'm going to miss out on these clients, I want you to think more, what am I actually going to miss out on if I don't niche in my business?
Yes. And I love that idea of flipping it on its head, because really it comes down to enjoying your business and enjoying what you do. And it sounds like what you're saying. That's what a niche can help you do. Work with the clients you want to work with, because it's kind of a two-way street. You want them to be a good fit for you, but you want to be a good fit for them too.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So what action items would you recommend for dietitians who are trying to find their dream niche? Like, how would you recommend they go about doing this?
Well, and fair disclosure, I usually take about 2 hours to teach niching in my Nutrition Business Accelerator. So I'm just going to give you the quick and dirty version because I want people to at least know what kind of questions they need to be able to answer to be able to identify their niche. For me, when I was figuring out where I wanted to focus my attention in my business, and as I started to get more narrow with my niche in my nutrition business, a lot of times I was more thinking about, what am I good at doing, right? Like, what are you actually skilled at when it comes to solving problems for your clients? Because you don't want to pick a niche that you're not even sure you can help people. That's like a basically a recipe for feeling lack of confidence in your business. So you want to pick something that you do have some skill in. You don't have to be incredibly skilled at it. Actually, picking a niche allows you to develop that skill, but it is something that having some level of confidence in your ability to help a person solve that problem is really important. And then you also have to be thinking about, what are people willing to pay for? You might be really great at solving a particular problem, but if people are not willing to spend money on solving that problem, then it's going to be really hard to grow a business. You might be able to make a nice blog or, have some cool free content on it, but to actually have a business where people pay you to solve the problem, that's going to be very difficult if you aren't picking a niche that there's already some demand for that. And then the third thing you want to be thinking about is, what do you enjoy helping people with? So you could be really skilled at something and there could be some demand in the marketplace for that problem to be solved. But if you hate working with that type of client, if you just dread getting on the phone with someone to talk about a particular health issue, then don't pick that niche. I mean, it is something where you can definitely run a business where you're not overflowing with joy every minute of the day. Like, it's okay to not be obsessed with the topic that you pick, but you certainly don't want to not like it. So I would say the 3 different main things you want to be asking yourself about the particular niche that you're thinking of selecting is this something I'm good at, or is it something I'm willing to become good at? Because again, you can become more of an expert in that topic just by focusing your attention in on that niche. You want to ask yourself, is this a topic that people are willing to pay for? Is this something that people will invest in solving this problem? And then the third, less important, but still something to consider, is, do I actually enjoy solving this problem? Do I enjoy working with these types of clients? And is this something that I would enjoy doing on a regular basis in my business? So those would be the 3 starting point questions that I would be asking myself if I was thinking about the kinds of problems that I have worked with, the kind of education that I have, the personal history that I have, all the things that can go into a decision about where you want to niche, but being able to make sure that all 3 of those areas are addressed in your niche selection is super important.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good advice. And I think that those are 3 really tangible things that people can sit down and start brainstorming and writing down and, starting to do some research on what would be the best fit for their niche. So I think that is great advice to condense the 2 hours into a couple minutes. So thank you. So we keep our podcast episodes short, and I really appreciate you coming onto the podcast and sharing your insights about narrowing down your niche and telling us a little bit more about your business. So where can people find you online if they want to learn more about you and what you offer for other dietitians?
Yeah, definitely. Well, my main website that has all the things on it is lauraschoenfeldrd.com. That's where my blog is, my podcast, information about working with me. Pretty much everything that I produce gets on that website in some way, shape, or form. So that would be the best place to go to learn more about the work that I do and learn from me when it comes to both nutrition and business content. And then social media wise, I'm most active on Instagram. That's at Laura Schoenfeld RD, and Schoenfeld is spelled Schoenfeld.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being on the podcast. And yeah, until we chat next time, guys.